When you walk into a room, the energy should shift. If it doesn't, you are invisible. Your transparency is your enemy. They know your next move before you make it. That ends now. We are wrapping you in the fog of Machiavellian mystery, strategic, cold, and dangerously unpredictable. Watch closely. It is time to haunt them. You don't need noise to be dangerous. The most dangerous men in history were never aggressive. They were calm, controlled, unreadable. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He knew that what people cannot predict, they fear. And fear does not come from chaos, it comes from uncertainty. When people cannot read your intentions, cannot decode your emotions, cannot anticipate your next move, their mind turns against itself. Most men destroy their own power by explaining too much. They speak when silence would elevate them. They justify when mystery would protect them. They reveal intentions when concealment would dominate. In doing so, they make themselves manageable, and anything manageable can be controlled. Niccolò Machiavelli warned that power is not about honesty or openness. It is about perception. The man who reveals his thoughts too easily becomes transparent, and transparency invites interference. When people know how you feel, they know how to move you. When they know what you want, they know how to manipulate you. When they know your next step, they can block it. Unreadability removes leverage from everyone around you. When your reactions are muted, when your emotions do not spill outward, when your face does not betray your thoughts, people hesitate, and hesitation is power. This is why mystery is more terrifying than aggression. Aggression shows intent. Aggression announces direction. Aggression reveals limits. Mystery does none of these. Mystery forces others to guess, and guessing is exhausting. While they speculate, analyze, second guess, you conserve energy, you hold position. Niccolò Machiavelli observed that rulers who spoke too freely were overthrown faster than those who stayed silent. Not because silence is weakness, but because silence creates asymmetry. You know more about them than they know about you. That imbalance is dominance. Understand this clearly. An unreadable man is not cold by accident. He is selective by design. He does not react immediately. He does not explain himself unnecessarily. He does not correct every misunderstanding. He allows people to sit with uncertainty, and uncertainty breeds respect. Faster than force ever could. Most men fear being misunderstood. So they over-communicate. They rush to clarify. They rush to defend. They rush to explain intentions. In doing so, they signal insecurity. They signal a need for approval. They signal dependence on perception. Niccolò Machiavelli taught that dependence is the root of weakness. The moment you need to be understood, you give others power over your image. And once they control your image, they control your influence. The unreadable man does the opposite. He lets people project onto him. He lets assumptions exist. He lets rumors circulate without correction. Because every false belief others hold about him protects his real position. This is not deception. This is strategy. When people cannot define you, they approach cautiously. When they cannot categorize you, they restrain themselves. When they cannot predict you, they respect distance. Distance is authority. This is why truly dangerous men rarely overshare, rarely vent, rarely explain their internal world. They understand that emotional exposure is informational exposure, and information is currency. Niccolò Machiavelli believed that appearing simple, while being complex, was one of the highest forms of power. Say little, reveal less, let others assume they know you. Their confidence becomes their vulnerability. And here is the final truth. Most people miss unreadability is not about acting mysterious. It is about removing emotional leakage. You do not need to perform silence. You need to own it. When your reactions slow, when your words become intentional, when your presence stops seeking validation, people feel it immediately. They may not know why they are cautious around you. They may not know why they hesitate before speaking. They may not know why your silence feels heavy, but they will feel it. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this perfectly. Power does not announce itself. It waits, it watches, and it lets others reveal themselves first. That is how an aura becomes dangerous, not through force, but through the fear of the unknown. Power is not built by what you show, It is built by what you withhold. Niccolò Machiavelli was ruthless about this truth. He understood that visibility is not strength. Visibility is exposure. The more people see of you, the more angles they gain to attack. This is why powerful men never reveal their full position. They control information. Like a weapon, most men leak power every single day without realizing it. They talk about their plans. They announce their next move. They explain their motivations. They broadcast emotions, and in doing so, they remove all mystery. Niccolò Machiavelli warned that a man who reveals his intentions too early will always be countered, because once people know what you want, they decide whether to help you or block you. Information control is not secrecy for secrecy's sake. It is selective exposure. You decide what others know, and more importantly, what they never will. The dangerous aura comes from asymmetry. You observe, they reveal, you listen, they speak, you collect, they leak. Over time, this imbalance compounds. People begin to feel uneasy around you without knowing why. They sense that you know more than you say. They sense that they have revealed too much. And once that feeling settles in, their behavior changes. They become cautious. They hesitate. They second-guess their words. Niccolò Machiavelli understood that men fear exposure more than opposition. If someone knows your weaknesses, they can pressure you. If someone knows your desires, they can manipulate you. If someone knows your fears, they can control you. So the disciplined man reveals none of these casually. He does not vent to feel relief. He does not explain to feel understood. He does not confess to feel connected. Connection without leverage is vulnerability. This is why powerful men appear emotionally contained, not cold, contained. They feel everything internally, but export nothing externally. Their face stays neutral. Their tone stays measured. Their reactions stay delayed. This creates a psychological fog. People cannot tell whether you are pleased or displeased. They cannot tell whether they impressed you or offended you. And uncertainty forces compliance, because when people do not know where they stand with you, they instinctively behave better. They become polite. They become careful. They become respectful. Niccolò Machiavelli advised rulers to let others speak first, because the one who speaks first gives away position. Silence forces projection. People fill gaps with their own assumptions, and those assumptions reveal far more than silence ever could. This is how you read people, without interrogation. This is how you dominate, without confrontation. But here is the discipline most men lack. They cannot tolerate being misunderstood. They rush to clarify. They rush to correct. They rush to explain. Every explanation is a leak. Every clarification is exposure. The man with aura lets misunderstandings exist, not because he is careless, but because he is secure. If someone misreads him, so be it. Their misunderstanding is not his responsibility, and often their misunderstanding protects him, because people prepare for the wrong version of you. They underestimate, they miscalculate, they assume limits that do not exist. Niccolò Machiavelli believed that appearing weaker or simpler than you are creates advantage. The quiet man is never underestimated twice. Now pause here if you're listening to this and realizing how much you have been oversharing, how much power you've been giving away. Write this in the comments. I reveal less, not for validation, for commitment. And if you want to master power, discipline, and psychological control at this level, subscribe to this channel, because the next section shows how to project dominance without saying a single word. This is not content for everyone. It's for men who are done being transparent. In a world that exploits it, a dangerous aura is not created by intimidation. It is created by emotional asymmetry. Niccolò Machiavelli understood a brutal truth. Most men never confront. People do not fear strength alone. They fear what they cannot read, what they cannot predict, and what they cannot control. A man who reacts emotionally is easy to map. His anger reveals insecurity. His defensiveness reveals fear. His explanations reveal dependence. Every emotional reaction is a leak, and leaked information becomes leverage. This is why Niccolò Machiavelli warned rulers never to display uncontrolled passion, not because emotion is weakness, but because visible emotion creates vulnerability. The man with a dangerous aura still feels, but he does not display. He does not rush to answer. He does not correct every slight. He does not justify his position. He does not chase understanding. And this creates something disturbing. People cannot place him. They cannot tell if he is unimpressed or quietly disappointed. They cannot tell if he is indifferent or calculating consequences. That uncertainty creates fear because humans are addicted to predictability. The moment they cannot predict you, they lose psychological footing. Most men believe respect comes from being expressive, from being liked, from being understood, from explaining their intentions. Niccolò Machiavelli understood the opposite. Respect comes from restraint, from composure, from emotional discipline. The less you react, the more weight your reactions carry. If you react to everything, nothing you do matters. If you react to nothing, everything you do matters. This is why powerful men appear slow, not because they lack intensity, but because they choose when intensity is released. They allow silence to do the heavy work. Silence forces others to reveal themselves. They talk more, they justify, they over-explain, they expose insecurities. And the emotionally disciplined man does nothing, he observes. Niccolò Machiavelli believed men destroy themselves when given enough space. Your role is not confrontation, it is patience. Another brutal truth. Before people challenge you openly, they test you emotionally. They provoke lightly, they tease subtly, they disrespect indirectly, and they watch closely. Not your words, your reactions. The moment your tone changes, they take note. The moment your posture tightens, they record it. That becomes your pressure point. The dangerous man removes pressure points, not by fighting, but by starving reactions. No visible irritation, no visible excitement, no visible offense. This is not emotional suppression, it is emotional sovereignty. Your internal world belongs to you alone. The external world gets no access. Over time, the testing stops. Not because you warned anyone, but because provoking you produces nothing. People feel foolish. Attacking silence, they feel exposed. Reacting alone, so they retreat toward easier targets. This is how aura is built. Not through dominance, not through aggression, but through emotional scarcity. Niccolò Machiavelli understood scarcity creates value. This applies to resources. This applies to attention. This applies to emotion. When your reactions are rare, they are respected. When you finally speak, people listen. When you finally move, it is felt. When you withdraw, absence creates pressure. Most men destroy their aura by explaining themselves, by reacting instantly, by proving worth to people who never asked honestly. You build aura by delaying, by withholding, by choosing. The man who controls himself terrifies those who cannot, because they know if you ever decide to act, it will not be emotional, it will be intentional. And intentional men are the most dangerous men alive. A dangerous aura is sealed when people fear losing access to you. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this better than most rulers ever did. Power is not maintained by aggression, it is maintained by controlled withdrawal. Most men think influence comes from presence, from being available, from always responding, from always explaining, from always being reachable. That belief is exactly why they are ignored. Availability kills value. Niccolò Machiavelli observed that people only respect what they believe they can lose, and the fastest way to destroy respect is to make your presence feel guaranteed. The man with a dangerous aura does not threaten, he does not announce boundaries, he simply removes access when lines are crossed, quietly, cleanly, without drama. This is what unsettles people, because there is no argument to win, no confrontation to fight, no emotion to manipulate, only absence. And absence forces reflection. When someone disrespects you and nothing happens, they learn something. When someone disrespects you and access disappears, they learn something far more important. They learn you are not dependent. Niccolò Machiavelli warned rulers never to rely on affection alone. Affection is unstable. Convenience fades. Loyalty shifts. But loss creates memory. Loss creates consequence. The dangerous man understands this instinctively. He does not chase disrespect. He does not seek closure. He does not demand apologies. He adjusts proximity. Someone speaks out of line, he becomes less available. Someone tests boundaries, they receive less attention. Someone disrespects publicly, they lose private access. No speeches, no warnings, no explanations, just a change in energy. And humans feel energy shifts before they understand them. This creates psychological pressure. People begin replaying interactions. They ask themselves, what changed? They wonder what they did. They start self-correcting without ever being told to. This is dominance without confrontation. Niccolò Machiavelli believed the strongest rulers made people regulate themselves. The same applies here. When access to you is conditional, behavior improves. When access is automatic, disrespect spreads. Most men are afraid of withdrawal because they confuse it with weakness. It is the opposite. Withdrawal communicates self-sufficiency. It signals, I do not need this. And needlessness is intimidating. People sense when you are optional to them, and they sense even faster when they are optional to you. This is where aura becomes real. Not loud, not aggressive, not theatrical, but unmistakable. Now pause here. If this is landing for you, if you are starting to see patterns you ignored before, write one sentence in the comments. I am no longer available to disrespect. Not for validation, for commitment. And if you want the rest of this series, the parts most channels will never say out loud, subscribe now. Back to the lesson. The dangerous man does not remove access impulsively. He does it consistently. Consistency is key. Random withdrawal looks emotional. Consistent withdrawal looks intentional, and intention is feared. Over time, something shifts. People stop testing you, not because you warned them, but because every test costs something. That cost does not need to be dramatic. It only needs to be reliable. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this principle. In politics, war, and rule, modern men ignore it. In daily life, they explain too much. They tolerate too long. They stay too close. Aura is not created by proving worth. It is created by making access expensive. And once people understand that access to you is earned, they move carefully. They speak carefully. They test less. And that is when fear appears. Not fear of violence, fear of consequence, fear of loss, fear of being removed from a world they no longer control. That is a dangerous aura. You were never meant to be loud. You were never meant to beg for respect. You were meant to become unreadable. If this video changed the way you see people, that's not an accident. That's awareness waking up. Most will ignore this. They'll go back to explaining themselves, overgiving, over-talking, over-tolerating. But a few won't. From now on, you move differently. You speak less. You react slower. You remove access without guilt. And people will feel it before they understand it. If you're done being underestimated, write this in the comments. I choose presence over approval. Subscribe if you're serious about building power. That doesn't need permission. Turn on notifications. The next lesson goes deeper. They won't fear your words. They'll fear what happens when you go silent.